Hello, this is Candace Haas, and I am here with my Module 6 journal reflection. And I am reflecting deeply on the often underestimated complexity of implementing learning designs in real world settings, such as mine. A well designed learning solution on paper doesn't always translate into smooth execution, as we all know, especially when it encounters the unpredictable dynamics of an organization's culture, capacity, or change readiness, something that my company is all too familiar with all three of those things, the three C's. One challenge that I've observed, especially in our fast-paced environment, is the disconnect between our initial design intentions and then how that intervention is actually adopted in the field. For instance, a training might be carefully built with thoughtful scaffolding and performance-based assessments, but if our managers treat it as a box checking exercise or our sales folks are too overloaded to engage, the original design loses its impact, especially if it relies on the manager for their observations and coaching as part of the program. So, organizational culture plays a huge role in this. In cultures that value continuous learning and provide time and psychological safety to explore new tools or approaches, adoption tends to flourish. And I have lived in that environment in the past. In contrast, if learning is seen as peripheral or non essential, even the best design will struggle to gain traction. And in sales, where time is of the essence because competition is fierce and it is 24/7, salespeople tend to value the doing part of their job more than the learning aspect. Another tension lies in how we evaluate impact. Participation and completion rates are often the most accessible data points for us. However, they say very little about whether behavior change or performance improved. Now, we do make correlations between product knowledge training and new launch sales and new launch penetration. However, we're also very aware that that is not necessarily a straight line. It's not the full story. There are many aspects that go into making a launch successful or not successful. So we need to keep that in mind. And as I'm thinking about that, I'm also interested in how learning designers can co create success criteria with stakeholders for things like observable behavior change, improved decision making, or increased efficiency, and embed those feedback loops to track these observable behaviors or this improved decision making or this increased efficiency over time. I think that would be super impactful. And I'm not sure I've figured out how to do that yet. In fact, I know I haven't. But that is something that I would really like to see in my future at the company that I'm in now, because those things are definitely more challenging to measure. However, they are more meaningful. Supporting continuous improvement after we launch something is also critical. And I've seen value in building structures like learner communities, post training surveys with qualitative prompts, schedule content reviews, possibly every quarter, every 6 months, even small touches like a shared discussion thread that we could do or that we do in Salesforce chat, or opt-in refresher sessions, which we also have available. But these can help the learning stay alive and evolve with the organization's needs. And so that is definitely, those are things that we do, but I'm sure that we could also do a better job there. But finally, to embed learning into the organizational culture, I think it must be connected to real problems and supported by leadership. Actually, I don't think I know. I know it must be connected. And when learning solutions clearly align with business goals and then are championed by those in influential roles, they really stand a better chance of becoming sustainable. And that's kind of the happy mix, the happy, or the ingredients to make the really good cake. Designers must also be realistic and flexible, knowing that perfect implementation rarely exists, something I have to remind my boss of all the time, and that success often comes through iteration, adaptation, and collaboration. So, anyway, I'm not sure if I have any more to say this week, but I can't believe it's already week 6 and next week is week 7 and then we're done. So that seems like it's been really, really fast. So thank you. And I look forward to next week.